With my incredible 2023 bow season wrapped up, it was time for perhaps my favorite phase of the season, and that's opening week of rifle here in West Virginia. Rifle season is where I really cut my teeth as a young hunter and have many fond memories hunting with my dad and granddad in the hills of West Virginia. On this cold November morning, I found myself on a small ridge point surrounded by thick cover, and it didn't take long at all to catch a good buck slipping through right at daylight, leaving me with barely enough time to get my camera on. Now, I'm in full-blown panic mode as my gun failed to fire due to the bolt being slightly open, and I just can't seem to figure out the problem without fumbling around like a rookie with this buck staring at me not 60 yards away. Oh. I just shot a giant. I'm all shook up right now. Ja! What a freaking season this has been. Oh, he looks big. I can see his one side sticking up. He looks really big. So let's go get down and go check him out. Alright, well, let's go down here and take a look at this buck. I have no idea what this buck is. I could see the one side when he was laying on the ground. It looks like a big 8, maybe. But follow along with me here and see what he is, because I honestly don't know. He looks like a big mature buck. Big body deer. So you're going to be surprised with me here, because I really don't know. It was one of those situations where it happened very quick, and it's so thick down in here, I wasn't messing around. I just hope he's got both sides, that's all I hope. He came right down into this thermal hub, almost exactly like I planned it. It's super thick down in here. I could hear a deer down in here before daylight. And then I kept hearing something, and I kept looking and never did see anything. Man, there are big rubs everywhere down in here. I'd say I shot the buck that was making these. He's right there. Oh, the one side looks real big. He's walking up this trail right here. Holy crap. Well, he's got both sides. Look at those brows. What a freaking beautiful buck. Beautiful. Man, he's pretty. Beautiful, perfect 8-pointer. Man, that is awesome. Heck yes. Oh, that is awesome. He's not quite as big as I thought he might be, but he's a freaking great buck. I mean, a great buck. I was right up there on that point right there. Man, he's tall tines. Great brow tines. Oh, that is awesome. Yes. Oh man, what a year. This is buck number 4. Oh, that is awesome. I'm gonna get my phone out, get some pictures. Let some people know, but man, I'm pumped. That is a great buck. I kind of came in here blind this morning, to be honest with you. Really had no idea what was in here. And I set up on this ridge point. We have an east-northeast wind this morning, which is kind of weird, but it sets up perfect for this bedding area in this ridge point. So I figured I'd give it a try, just come in here and just see what I see. But a couple years ago, 2 years ago now in this area, I killed my biggest buck ever, right down the road. And I got access to this piece of property. And this is the first deer I've killed off of it. I passed a couple nice 8-pointers last year, and this may actually be one of those bucks. Just a beauty of an 8-pointer. Great brow tines. Nice long tines. Just a perfect buck. It was a bit of a cluster getting the shot off on him, but luckily he stood still long enough that I was able to get another round in the chamber and made a good shot on him and dropped him right there. He didn't go anywhere. That's buck number 4 this year. 3 with the bow, this one with the rifle, and I still got hunting left to do. So, man, what a year! Absolutely blessed. Very, very thankful. All right, well, got him broken down in game bags. Now we just got to hike up there, get the sticks, platform, and then it's all downhill to the truck. This deer actually had a broadhead through his neck, and it came out the other side, and the broadhead was, here, grab it. Broadhead stuck right in his neck. I think that's a thorn. It's interesting, but yeah, I wasn't the first person to have a run-in with that buck. I'm gonna get packed up here and head out onto the next date. All right, what is up, guys? It is the last part of November. We're in the home stretch. Got about a month or so of season left, but man, you get toward the end of December and it's downhill slide from there. It goes quick. So I'm headed to Pennsylvania. It's cold, it's windy, kind of spitting snow today. It's gonna be cold here in the next few days. But I got the old stealth camper. We're gonna go camp out on some state forest, freeze to death. Season's been in just a couple days in Pennsylvania, so I'm going into a brand new area. I've never been here before. I found a spot to camp. Got several good spots marked on the map that look good. I think they should be good. This is big woods, big timber. There should be some laurel, like everything that I'm used to. So I'm kind of excited about it, but it's been a great season. I've killed 4 bucks. There's no pressure on myself to kill anything. So I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna explore some new areas, I'm gonna have fun, and we're gonna get after it, and I'm gonna take you along with me. So let's go. All right, well, I'm on the gravel road, and my camp is right up here. I have only seen 3 trucks, and they were well away from where I'm at. It always makes me a little nervous when you roll into a spot and it's like, all right, what's the pressure going to be like? Like, this is just all unknown. You just don't know. I always get like the butterflies in my stomach a little bit whenever I come into a new spot. Like, you just totally unknown, right? You don't know what you're going to get into. It's always a little scary, a little exciting, but man, this is what I like doing. This is so much fun. Brand new area. I've never been here before, and we're going to figure it out. With camp set up, I hit the ground running and started finding some pretty good buck sign not far from camp. Always a welcome sign in a new area. there's buck sign everywhere down here. Well, I've been still hunting for about the past hour and a half. Got about an hour till dark. Not a bad first day here in Pennsylvania. Finding some sign, beautiful area. So I'm pretty excited to hunt it the next couple days. I think I'll get on some deer. All right. Made it back to camp. Getting things situated here. Trying to stay warm. It is freaking cold and windy. But I thought I'd show you camp here. Got my little trailer. Got the gazelle tent set up here. I got got the buddy heater going. Got my little table. Got the old plastic shitter over there. If you ain't in a plastic bucket in freezing weather, you ain't living. But yeah, this is home for the next couple days, or until I get tired and cold and want to go home. Roughing it out here all by myself. Be a lot more fun if somebody's with me, but nobody wanted to go. So I'm out here living my best life, freezing in the Pennsylvania wilderness. But it's all right. We'll get up early in the morning and we'll get after him. Yeah, that's ice. Wasn't too bad in here last night. I mean, it got cold, but I had lots of blankets. I'm gonna get out here, get the buddy here running in the tent, get some coffee going. I think it was snowing. With a fresh dusting of snow on the ground, I was excited for my first full day in the Pennsylvania hardwoods. Wind's kind of coming down like this. If you've never hunted like this, where you don't really have a set destination in mind, you're just still hunting your way, through a big area, which is what I'm doing. I'm always paying attention to what the wind is doing, which direction I need to be traveling into the wind. I don't want to go upwind of a big area and have my wind blow through the whole area that I'm going to try to pass through. Because if you do that, you're obviously shooting yourself in the foot. You're wasting your time. So when I get closer to the bottom down here, the wind should be mostly in my face coming off this big ridge up here, which it is right now. So if that's the case, I can go either direction. But my plan is I'm going to drop off of this ridge, check the wind, and I'm either going to go to the right or I'm going to go to the left, and I'm going to make a big loop. This time of year, these deer are where the food is, where they can find food. If you're seeing big rubs and, rut sign in an area, that does not mean they're there right now. These big woods deer, they don't hang in one area for very long if there's no food. Like, they constantly bounce around. They have a very big kind of circuit that they run, I think. So you got to keep that in mind. And in a big, vast landscape like this, small bump. As I got to the creek bottom, I spotted several deer on the hillside above me, so I decided to make a move across the creek and set up for the rest of the day in hopes that a buck may cruise through between the two drainages to my east and to the west. I sat for several hours with no deer, but finally a group of does worked their way out of the drainage, but no bucks made an appearance on this cold, windy afternoon. The next morning, I set up in the creek bottom within shooting distance of the hillside where I'd seen the deer the day before, with plans to work myself farther to the west for the evening hunt. As I got closer to the drainage I wanted to hunt, the sign picked up and a small buck passed by at only 40 yards, so I figured this would be a great place to set up for the rest of the evening. It was getting close to last light, and after watching this small doe, I spotted a good buck chasing a doe up the ridge and had just a few seconds to get a shot off as he passed by at only 60 yards. Now, I thought this buck had went down, but after finding blood, it was clear he had got on his feet and made it down the steep ridge. So with darkness approaching and being unsure of my shot, I decided to back out. Alright guys, little update here. Things got frickin' western there right at dark. Had a buck chase a doe in, really good looking buck. Couldn't tell you how big he is exactly. I just knew he was for sure a shooter. I think he's a big wide 8, but I honestly couldn't tell you. But the doe ran up the ridge. He was chasing the doe. The doe turned, went back down the ridge. Right as he turned to go back down is when I shot. So he was hard quartering away. And I had it solid on him, right on that back hip. That's a shot I've taken with a rifle before, and it usually is just deadly. So I shot. Everything was kind of a blur. It happened really fast. He ended up running kind of around to the left. I took another shot at him. After that shot, he was on the ground within seconds. Really, really quick. I could see him laying there. So I thought, this deer's dead. I freaking hammered him. I felt confident in my first shot. I was on him. I don't feel like I missed that first shot. So I'm all messed up, obviously, in the excitement of things. But I should have watched a little closer because he ended up getting up and going down the ridge. So I hopped down out of the tree. I ran over there. Found blood, lots of blood, where he was on the ground. He got up, he was on the ground again. He got to his feet and ran a little ways, and then he was on the ground for probably 15 yards, like drag marks, blood, all the way down this ditch. He got down to the bottom of the ditch. It looks like he got back on his feet, and then I could not tell which way he went. You know, I got headlamp on. It's dark. I can't see very well. My headlamp's not very bright. So I looked around for a little bit. I marked last blood right there where he was on the ground, and I just backed out. You know, I'm not familiar with this area. I've never been back in there where I shot this deer, so I didn't want to get all twisted around in the dark in there and not know where I was at, and risk not being able to get back out. So I went back up, got my stuff out of the tree, marked everything really well, coming back out, got my orange hat hanging on a stick there in the trail to show me where the blood starts. So fingers crossed. I mean, that deer, he was hurting bad. You know, any shot like that with a rifle is usually deadly. You know, I've taken him like that before. He was about 60 yards. He wasn't that far, and he was pretty much stopped when I shot him. Probably should have waited for a better angle, but is what it is at this point. You know, in the heat of the moment, you don't always make the best decisions, and I don't think I made the best decision there with taking that shot. But obviously the deer's hurt, so I just backed out. It's going to be super cold tonight, no worries there. But where he went down and over that bank is super steep, and then up the other side is super steep. I can't imagine that he would get down in there and be able to get back out as bad as he was hurting. So fingers crossed we'll go back in there tomorrow and he won't be that far. So it's going to be a long, sleepless night. It's the worst part. Oh, sorry, this video quality is going to be garbage. It's just after daylight. I'm hiking back into where I shot that buck. Got just the frame pack and the rifle and a camera with me. But the camera's in the pack, so. If I do find this thing, it's going to be an all-day pack out by myself. Let's just hope we get that chance. All right, here's where he hit the ground. And you can see where he slid himself down over that log. I found him. Yes! And he's a big buck too. He's in the creek. I'm sure he was dead last night, but he made a turn that I didn't know. He went straight down the hill. He got down, there's blood everywhere down here, and he's dead in the creek, and he looks like a big buck. Oh my God. I'm glad I backed out last night. I'm really glad. He got down here to this creek and he made it in the creek, and that was it. He's gonna be completely frozen. Oh my gosh. That is a big buck. This is the stuff you remember. Wish Carl was with me. Gotta get pumped up. Oh my God. Oh, that's so freaking heavy. If you hear that creaking, that's my spine. This is where you find out if you're a freaking man or not. All right, it's only straight uphill for a little over half a mile. Let's go. As bad as this sucks, I love every second of it. This is the stuff you remember right here. The buck's a good one. He's an awesome buck. But this is the stuff that when you look at that buck, you can feel the pain in your hips when you think about that hunt. Think about freezing to death at night with your doors frozen shut, your water frozen, all your batteries dead so you have no heat. That's the stuff you remember. Oh, good times. All right, guys, that is a wrap in Pennsylvania. I'm thrilled. Killed an awesome buck. Challenged myself. It was freaking hard. I about froze to death. But you know what? It was 100% worth it, and I will 100% do it again. So, gotta get camp packed up and head on home. But, man, you guys can do this. Get out. This is public land. Anybody could do this. Come out here, set up a tent. You don't need a trailer. You don't need hardly anything. Throw you some Mountain House meals in the truck, pop you a tent up with a buddy heater, and hike to the top of one of those ridges over there and put your time in. And you could be pulling a buck like that out of the woods too. I'm nothing special. Nothing at all. So get out there, challenge yourself, and just have fun with it, guys. I promise you, even if you don't kill a buck, you will learn something, and it will just give you confidence going into your next hunt. So until next time, remember, like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and we'll see you again here on Tethrd Nation.